Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to be talking about the percent proportion. So we use the percent proportion to solve percentage problems. It's one way to solve, and we'll have other videos on different methods of solving percentage questions. You're going to want a calculator for today's video in today's lesson, so go ahead and grab one of those. Your phone calculator would be just fine. And let's go ahead and get started. So we have the percent proportion. So in a percent proportion we have one ratio. So one ratio compares part of the quantity to the whole quantity. So I'm looking at the part over a whole. And if you think about percentages, when I'm dealing with percentages, I'm talking about a whole something. So let's talk about pizza. It's almost lunchtime. So if I have a whole pizza and let's say I ate 50% of that pizza, you know that I've eaten half of the pizza. If I eat 25%, then I've eaten a quarter of the pizza. So we're talking about part to the whole. Now maybe that pizza has 8 slices in it. So my whole would be 8 pieces. If I've had half, I've eaten 4. That's 50%. So we're going to use the percent proportion to either figure out the part, to figure out the whole, or to figure out the percentage. So let's go ahead and jump into the actual proportion itself. So you know a portion is basically a fraction equals a fraction. We've got a video on that. So I'm going to have my part over my whole, and that is going to equal my percentage. Okay, remember your percent sign looks like that, over 100. It's always over 100 because percentages we always take out of 100%. You know, if it's 100%, it's the whole thing. Yeah, sometimes you can go over 100%, which means something's been added to on the bottom. More on that later. In symbols, I'm going to use A over B equals a percentage, or P for percent, over 100. Okay, so again, A is the part, B is the whole, and P is the percentage. Sometimes you'll see it like A over B equals P over 100. I've also seen it with words as it's the is over the of equals the percentage over 100. And that's going to make sense in just a second if you're like, what just happened? Okay. So a few ways you can choose to tackle these questions. And I think we're going to go ahead and just jump in to them. Okay, here's some examples. So here we go. Try to leave this part up here so you can still see it while we're doing this. So if I want to know 16 is what percent of 92, I'm going to color coordinate here with my pieces. So I'm going to make is yellow, of green, and then the percentage, I'll do pink. Okay. So with these colors, and if you're a visual learner, I suggest doing this on actual worksheets that you get in class from your teacher. It'll help you outline what is what part. So if I'm looking for is, 16 is, so 16 is my yellow. What percent, no, that's supposed to be pink. Pink, well now it's just red. There we go. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. And of 92. So I'm thinking 16, so the number 16 is what percent of 92? So you can either think of this as your part over your whole, and the part is the is, and the whole is the of. Okay, so let's go plum. All right, so 16 is what percent, so that's my unknown. I'm just going to use a variable. You can use x, you can use this p if you wanted to. So if you don't want to use the letter x, use p. It's up to you. Just use something. And of 92, so that goes right here, of 92. So my last number is 100. This one is always 100. That's a constant. That doesn't change. So that's always going to be 100. All right, I'm going to grab my calculator. Now I'm going to solve this by using a proportion. So if you're unsure on how to solve proportions, we do have a video on that, and I'm going to go ahead and do that for you here. We just multiply the diagonals. So I've got 16 times 100, 1600 equals 92x, okay? Or it could be 92x equals 1600, it's the same thing. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 92. So 1600 divided by 92 is going to get me, try from here, x equals 17. I'm going to round to a tenth, 17.4. Now notice I was trying to find the percent, so that's going to be 17.4%. So there's my answer for that one. Okay. All right, go ahead and do number 2. I'm going to scroll down. So if you need the percentage, take a picture of it, write it down, the proportion. Make sure you have that. Okay, go ahead and pause and do number 2 because it's also a find the percent. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Feel free to color coordinate it if you want to. I will. Let's see. So I've got what percent, that was pink. So what percent of was my green, of 7, is 13. All right, so I know I'm going to have something equals something that's going to be over 100. Okay, what percent, so that's what I'm trying to find, so that's x, of 7, okay, so we said that of goes on the bottom, is 13. So of in this case is my 7, right? And that is going to be the whole. So I'm talking about 7 is my whole and my part is 13, which means my part is bigger than my whole, which means I'm going to have over 100%. Totally fine. It happens. It happens. You're seeing it right now. It's happening. All right, grabbing my calculator, setting up my proportion. I'm going to put the 7x first this time. You can put it second. It's up to you. 7x equals 1300. Divide both sides by 7. And that is going to be, all right, x equals 185, round to a tenth, 0.7%. Okay? And that makes sense because if my whole is 7, but my part is 13, I have more than my whole. I am over 100%. So that can definitely happen. All right. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and scroll again. All right, try to set up number 3 on your own. Go ahead and try it. Pause it, try it. I'm going to go ahead and color it, color coordinate it. All right, so what number is 11.4% of 450? All right, so what number is, there's my is, there's my of 450, and then there's my percent. Again, you might not need to do the colors, that's totally fine. It just gives you a visual option to change colors for fun. All right, here's my proportion. Always over 100 on that second. Let's see, so what number is? So is goes on top. So that's x, that's my unknown. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to figure it out. 11.4%, 11.4. I'm not gonna write the percent in the problem because it's already over 100, I'm good. And then of 450, of goes on the bottom. All right, let's go ahead and solve it. So I have 100x equals, calculator time, 11.4 times 450 is going to be 5,130. Divide all of that by 100. And then x is going to equal 51.3. So that is my part. And because it's a part, I don't have to put a percentage on it. So 51.3, that's the what number, okay? All right, try number 4. And then we'll get to our chart. Sorry, there we go, okay. I'm gonna color coordinate it. 45 is 6% of what number? So there's my percent, my pink percent. Of what number? Of is green. And yellow, 45, okay. So set up my proportion, over 100, okay, I got 6% in there. Okay, of is always on the bottom, so of what number? That's my unknown, because it's of what number? I don't know, I gotta figure it out. 45 is my is, so there's 45 on top. All right, do your cross products. So 6x equals 4,500. 45 times 100 is 4,500 hundredths. All right, dividing both sides by 6. Oops, going to find my calculator for this one. 4,500 divided by 6 is going to be 750. Okay. All right, so what we've seen with these past 3 problems is I can have 3 possible unknowns. Let's go pale blue. All right, either the percentage is unknown, as it was in the first 2, or the part is unknown, as it was here in number 3, or the whole is unknown. So those are my 3 options, because the 100 is always known. I always know who that is. That's 100. Hello. So this little chart here, this is the last part of our notes, is going to show the different proportions set up. So this is our type of percentage problems. Go ahead and get my color set up. Let's go pink. We're using all the colors today. It's very fun. So if I'm trying to find the percent, so this is like number 1 and 2. Here's an example. 1 is what percent of 4? You're welcome to highlight these and color coordinate them if you want. I will not for this video, but you can. It's fine. So if you're trying to find the percent, you know you're going to have something equals something over 100. So I know that my percent is going to be my unknown. That's my variable. There's my x. Again, you're welcome to use the letter P or really whatever letter that you want to use. X is what I typically default to. So 1 is what percent of? So 1 is my of, and then of is my 4. Okay, then I can go in and solve that and find out that x equals 25. Okay, I won't show you how to do that since we just went through all that, and I don't want to make the video super long. Right, if I'm looking for the part, oh, trying to scroll up just a tad. There you go. If I'm looking for the part, I'm looking for the what number is. Go ahead and set that one up. Okay, and these are all the same numerical question. It's just asking for different pieces. So I've got 25% over 100. There's of is 4, so on the bottom. So my unknown here, so if I'm looking for the part, that's going to be right here on the numerator of the first, on the left side of my proportion. Okay, and then eventually you solve that, and then you get x equals 1. And then the last part is to find the whole. And when you're looking for the whole, then that means we still have 25% because it's given me that. Looking for of, the of. Okay, that means down here, the of is your denominator. Okay, then I don't know what that is. I'm looking for the of. 1 over x. And I know that x is going to be 4. Okay, so those are your 3 types of percentage proportion questions that you can have, because we always know what 100 is. That's always going to be there. So there's only 3 different 3 different types of questions that you can have for 3 different places of where your variable can be. Okay? All right, that is all I have for you for this video. We've got more videos coming on different ways to solve proportions. So the percentage proportion is just one method on how to solve them. All right, you guys have a great day. Bye.